First of all, I want to say on the breakup topic, I went through a really bad breakup that, I was in a 6-year relationship, really ruined me as well. You did. I think breakups can be, for a man, it can really force you to level up. So what advice would you give to a young lad or anyone who's going through a bad breakup?
Well, there's almost like this. I'll start with a little story. There's a story that I heard a few years ago, and it's like there's two toads. I know it's weird, and I'll bring it back full circle. I can remember these things. There's two toads. They're like hopping down in the bottom in the mud, like of these tracks and whatnot, and they're minding their own business. And then one day they look up, and there's a toad at the top, and he's hopping around, and they're like, "What are you doing up there? Why don't you just come down and join us all?" And he's like, "It's better up here. Like it's amazing. You guys should come up." And they're like, "No, there's no point." One day a truck comes the other way, or like a tractor, big wheels and whatever, and the toads go, "Fuck, we got to get out of here. We better go up onto the top." And then the other toad's up there, and he just like looks one day, and he's just like, "Oh, they're hopping next to me. What happened?" And they're like, "Oh, a truck came." Right? And it's such a stupid, like simple thing, but it's like you don't make changes, you don't move in life until you have to. You're forced to. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
You need something.
it's just so simple, but it's like you're gonna go through your life just coasting. If nothing, like I hope nothing bad ever happens to anybody, but it's not good for you. Like it's good to you, but it's not good for you. So like, oh yeah, dad left. My best mate died in a car accident at 18. I went through a breakup. I lost my hair. Because of that, you become better. Do you know what I mean? You dig deep and you go, you're forced to change. Yeah. You know, like forced adaptation. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
You know, like if you were a skinny, like Zeus.
Yes.
Skinny guy got in mad shape because he was like, I'm fed up of being the skinny guy. It's very rare that you've got like a great you've got all the great genetics and everything going on in the early days, and you just run with that and you just keep building. Yeah. When you do, that's when you get like a Cristiano Ronaldo, somebody with crazy talent, and then they put the work in. That's when you get like that one outlier out of billions of people. But most people will never do it. So the advice I would give to young people is that it's probably the best thing that's going to happen to you. And it feels like shit at the time, but 90% of relationships before 30 fail anyway. Oh, yeah. So at the end of the day, I've got guys on my channel who will message me and be like, "Oh, I'm 19 years old. I'm in a long-term relationship." I'm like, "If you can't, like, when did you meet? Come on, it's not long-term." They're like, "I think she's the one," and whatever.
It's like, when did you meet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, mate, it's not gonna. It's very likely that it's not gonna pan out. So when it does end, 90% inevitably, then sit there and go, "I'm happy that it happened, and I'm happy that I gained experience from it," because that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like we were all simps at some point, and I've got a quote which I think I can say on your channel. It's not too controversial, but it's the vagina educates and penis confuses. So like we know what it's like. If a woman's like slept around a little bit, she's super confused. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just her future relationships are worse because of it, because she's scarred. Whereas as a man, like every breakup, every time you were a little simp, every time you fucked up and got rejected, left on red and whatever, you become better. You grow, and then you don't make the mistake next time. Before you know you're bulletproof. Yeah, really.
And that is one of the best things in life that you can go through and used to in business or relationships or anything.
Mate, it's a weapon. It's the biggest weapon. And I always say to people like, "Oh fuck, I lost my hair when I was young," or "This happened and that happened." And then I look back and I go, "I wouldn't have started this brand." And at the end of the day, it pays for everything I do. So I'm like, it's a good thing.
And so tell me, what do you think kills a relationship? Not even, in your younger years and in any years, what do you think is a real passion killer? What kills a relationship?
The really good one that I heard before, I read it in a book. It was about relationship transactional analysis. Some reason I did a course on this. I don't know why.
Of course you did.
And the guy said that people don't deliver what they promise in courtship. So it's almost like saying to people, "I've got this amazing product," and then when it comes out, it's shit. And people do this, they meet each other, they look beautiful, they're spending all their time together. And when they do spend time together, because they're only seeing each other once a week, you get a haircut before you see that person. Yeah. You look your best, you've had a good night's sleep, you get your skincare done, you put on your best clothes, you clean the house, you take the bins out, you do all the shitty tasks that you would normally have to do together if you live together. So everything's a fairy tale. And you're like, this is going to be amazing. Every time you see each other, you have sex 4 or 5 times in a night. Do you know what I mean? And then you always see each other on weekends. You don't see each other in the week. So then when you actually move in and you're living that life together and you walk through the house and she's sat on the shitter and she stinks, do you know what I mean? And you're like, okay, and then, "Oh, babe, we got to take the bins out and we got to walk the dog. Oh, the fucking dog just shat everywhere." You're doing all the terrible things together. And then on a Sunday night, you're sat there like, "Babe, I've got to get all my lunch ready. I'm tired. Like, I don't know, I just haven't got time for this. I'm stressed. Like, I fucking hate work." You're moaning to her. She becomes your therapist. And advice that I've always given to guys is like, yeah, date along the way. And as you rise up the ranks and you become better, you'll get way more female attention. So that's where you'll gain your experience. But it's probably the best idea to just go without women until you're in a position to be able to handle it. Because I've had this in relationships before. I'm on the come up and I'm sat there and I'm like, babe, it'd be great when we make it. Oh, I'm so tired. Like, I'm so stressed with work. And all you're talking about is you. And all you're talking about is it'll be all right when. It'll be okay when. And like, one day I'm going to provide for you and all this stuff. And she's almost like, I just want, you know, you. I just want the real you. I just want to have fun. You know, you don't have to come home and complain to me and, oh, we're short on money and I'm so stressed. And why did you buy the expensive steak? Do you know what I mean? That shit.
Bro, so I said it was probably about 4 uploads ago. I titled it, you know, it was just a day in the life of Marbella vlog. And I titled it, Should a Guy Pay for the First Date? Yeah. And I said, guys shouldn't be going on dates until they're able to not even think about it.
Yeah.
And most people agreed with that.
Are they really?
We're like,
okay.
Most of people, my channel is like 90%.
Yeah, they're older as well.
If not more. And so most people agree with that. They're like, true, you know, focus on yourself, kings. But there was a few people that are like, this is insensitive. What if? And I'm like, no.
You got to go with that. It's like everything though, isn't it? Like you're on a fitness journey. You got to go out without so many things. You're going to have to stay in on the weekend. You can't do the alcohol thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, you can have anything you want, but you can't have everything at once. You can have any one thing. That's the key, the one thing bit. When they say anything, it's like any one thing, but you can't really balance the two.